I don't have any slides, so yeah. Hi, everyone. I don't know about you, but I'm so inspired by what I've heard. I'm not sure that I can add anything to it, but I'm going to give it a go. So it's so wonderful to be here. When I was thinking about what to talk about and what would resonate with people, I was thinking about the roles that we play in life. And there's so many roles, there's so many hats that we wear. You know, we're mothers and fathers, and we're sisters and brothers, and uncles and aunties, and we're all these things. And we're coaches and mentors, and we're community workers, and we're volunteers, and we do all of these things in life. And of course, the main role, one of the biggest roles that we play in life, is our role as workers. And setting aside the role as a worker for a minute and thinking about the other roles that we play, we do these things because they give us meaning, because they give us purpose, because they define our place in the world. They are meaningful to us. And then looking at this role as workers and employees, you know, we have sometimes a very different take on it. So if we look at how the roles we play personally, these things, we define success and we measure success in terms of the quality of the relationships that we build as a result of these roles. And in the work that I do, I speak to a lot of people about the different roles they play, and specifically about the role they play at work. And one of the things that really brings me immense pain is when I hear people say to me, the reason I do this job, or the reason I'm in this role, is because I'm putting money, you know, I'm earning money, I'm putting bread on the table. This is why I do this role. And what really strikes me is that, you know, the M word, the money word, is what is front and center. And that's an important thing. As we heard from Bro, money is really important. But what is markedly absent in the conversation about this role that consumes maybe 80% of our lives is the other M word, which is really around meaning. And I think it's really, really sad. And I think that people feel extremely trapped into this. And when I ask people, how do you measure success? Are you successful at your role? What I often hear people say is, oh yes, I've been promoted twice, or I'm earning more money than I've ever earned, or I can put my children through private school, or I've bought my batch or my boat. And these things are all lovely, but they mean nothing in the absence of meaning. And, you know, it's you might be sitting there saying, well, it's all very well for you, but the vast majority of us have responsibilities. We are breadwinners. We need to do this. And I'm here to tell you that I am the vast majority. I am the person who is the primary breadwinner for my beautiful family, and I have been my entire life. I was born in the 60s into a working class family with not a silver spoon in sight. My first job was at 15 in a shoe shop, and I worked every Saturday and every school holiday to earn pocket money to have what I wanted to have. And I have played that role for the entire part of my adult life, that primary breadwinner role. But, you know, I've made some decisions in my life as a result of this pressure of having to earn. I've made some really poor decisions in my life. And it's interesting because I had to learn some hard lessons, and picking up what I shouldn't have picked up and doing the roles that I shouldn't have done led to some very bad outcomes for me. And it led to 2 breakdowns in my life, in my adult life. One in 1997 and another one in 2007. And you know, the 7s haven't been that good to me, let's just say. But the most beautiful thing that came out of this all is that it taught me the most phenomenal life lessons. And chief of those was, just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. I'm going to say it again. Just because other people tell you you are great at something and they're willing to throw a whole lot of money at it, and they're willing to promote you and they're willing to award you and reward you for it, doesn't mean you should pick it up. It really taught me that we need to ask ourselves different questions. We need to ask different questions of ourselves and of others. And that takes a huge amount of courage. That experience really introduced me to two words that have become my favorite words in the English language. And those two words are, what if? And I remember being in my early 20s, a single mother having come out of an abusive relationship. And I remember sitting down with my two little babies. I had two little babies, a 3-year-old and a newborn. And I remember going to a park one day, and I tried to buy my 3-year-old an ice cream, but I didn't have enough money to buy that ice cream. And I remember sitting down and thinking, what if my life could be different? And I have taken that philosophy and I have followed it. Because when you're at rock bottom, what the hell? The only way is up, right? And I've taken that philosophy and I have said, what if? And I didn't set out to be an entrepreneur. I mean, that was the furthest thing from my mind. But I found myself in about 2010 working in a role that didn't give me a lot of meaning anymore. And I said to myself, what if I could take the things about this role that are meaningful to me, and what if I can do those things? What if I can drop the rest? And what if I can perhaps take those things and do it for other organizations that might find value in it? And that led to a conversation with my boss. And after going backwards and forwards and painting the picture, he said to me, sure, why don't we do that? And so my consulting business, Diversitas, was born out of that. And it allows me to do what really gives me meaning, which is making difference count. We are all so different and we all have so much value to add, and I love making difference count. And that's how that business was born. And we have since gone international, which is just phenomenal, and the money has followed, but the meaning came first. And my experience is meaning first, money afterwards. And so I'm out of time, but I'd really love to just share that with you. You know, if you follow the meaning, the money will come, and you will never run out of energy because it's what you were born to do.